So the name of our video this week is You Are Doing It Perfectly. Now I want you to add just a little something in before that, and I want you to add this in, which is, what if I'm doing it perfectly? And I want you to keep that question, put it in your back pocket, and pull it out when you're moving through your life and you feel like you just keep messing things up. You feel like you're stuck in addictive patterns, that you are in situations that you keep repeating that you wish you wouldn't, right? We have all these things in our life, whether it's ways that we are growing, being challenged in our relationship, in our work situation, in our friendships, right? Whatever it is, in our parenting, in our work situations, right? All these ways where we get challenged. And something that I see a lot over and over again are the ways that people, when they're in hard situations, it gets even harder because of the self-perpetuating negative talk that we get going towards ourselves, which just makes it that much more difficult. Now, this is something that is just really important to identify and to remember, to have this little question in your back pocket, because we forget sometimes that the whole reason we're here as spirit is to grow and to expand and to really take on challenges so that we can rise up into this highest version of who we are. So the notion that I want you to play around with, which I really believe is the truth of the way everything is working around us, is that everything really is lining up for your good. Even though it doesn't seem like that, even though it can feel extremely overwhelming, the level of challenge that you might be facing at any particular time, it truly, all of it, is being set up for your growth and for your expansion. This has come up for me, this question, a couple times in the last few weeks, because I've had people come to me in two different situations with food addiction issues. One person who is about 400 pounds and is having trouble being in relationships and just really, really facing a lot of struggle with a severe sense of being overweight. The other one is a woman who was anorexic for about 10 years. Anyway, in both of these situations, I'll take the first one. He came to me as a new client, and I could tell right away that he was going to be looking to me for the new diet, or whatever it might be, that is just fresh off the, I don't know, the Hollywood circuit or wherever, right? Which is going to be the prescription to fix his relationship with food. And where we began, which I think really shocked him, which is where I want to begin with you, is I said, well, what if you're the perfect weight? And it was a phone session, so I could sort of hear his jaw drop and be like, no, this is not perfect. I'm going to die, 20 years earlier. And, I can't keep a relationship. I can't. And I'm saying, I understand there's a lot of challenge, and I understand it's not the easiest path, but this is what you've set up for yourself. This is what's going on right now. So what if it was perfect? What if it is exactly what you need to move forward in your spiritual development? Now, I'm going to bring up the other example of this woman that I was dealing with who was an anorexic, who no longer is. And I was so inspired because the level and degree to which this woman was in deep appreciation and love for herself really was quite rare and truly inspirational for me to witness. And we were talking, and she was saying she's had a lot of really good things happen recently for her, and she said to me, it's really a bummer that now that I love myself, that all of this is going well. I wish I'd known that for the 10 years that I was struggling with my anorexia. And I said, well, actually, I think the anorexia was pretty gosh darn perfect, in terms of being a very hardcore, challenging, not saying easy road, right? But Her spirit set it up. That's what it yearned for. Spirit is so tough. It is like, tough's not even a word. It's just like it can take on anything. It yearns for that growth and expansion. So 10 years of anorexia, whatever, it's going to piece back into non-physical. It's going to go on another roller coaster ride of human expression. It's just going to get challenge after challenge, right? So anorexia, it's like, let's bring on that challenge because it knows the reward it can get. And the reward that I felt in this phone call was so incredible because I was just so inspired by the degree to which she loved herself. And so I said in that moment, I said, I'm so thankful for your anorexia. I'm thankful for the blessings, for the level of appreciation that you came to. Because when you're pushed to that level, which she was, of self-hate and self-torture for that long, the amount of self-love you have to get into to heal, to move out of that situation is so enormous that it's such a blessing for her, because out of all those years of self-hate, now she's in this beautiful, consistent experience of self-love and self-cherishing because of that struggle. So instead of when we're in the muck, right, when we're feeling like we're off course, or when we're in another addiction, or when we are overwhelmed by the struggles that we're facing, I just want you to ask yourself this question: what if I'm doing this perfectly? What if is really important because it disengages the ego. And regardless of however that question might serve you, one of the main things it's going to do is it's going to soften you. And for us to move forward in any challenging situation, what is really essential is to just look for any way possible that we can soften the situation, that we can move into a place of compassion, that we can move into a place of just a little bit more gentleness and love. I'm setting the intention that this question, what if you're doing it perfectly, for you right now, gives you an enormous amount of freedom, gives you an enormous amount of leverage in situations in which you're really yearning for greater peace, relief, and comfort. Sending lots of love your way. Bye-bye.